For this part, I'm going to discuss two components of learning when your child is not in school. The first is going to consist of homework and getting assigned homework while your child is not at school. And then the second one is going to be the virtual learning component. I talked about this last week, but I want to say it again. Sometimes we need to hear things multiple times for it to be like, oh, now I get it. So I'm going to share it with you again. And I also feel that sometimes when you find yourself in that situation, then you're thinking like, when did I hear that? I don't remember. So I want to say this a second time. Okay. So the homework component. So if your child's away from school for any reason, our teachers will gather all homework, classwork, and send it home via Google Classroom if you're a 3rd through 8th grader, or Seesaw if you're in our 5K through 2nd grade group. Work will come to you via these platforms by 4 o'clock that evening. So that's going to happen if your child's out. So it's sort of like that kind of olden days, which is just even last year, where your child's out for, let's say, a toothache, and you call school and say, I want to pick up my child's homework at the end of the day. Then the teacher puts all the books and worksheets and things together, puts it in the office, and then you can come in and pick it up. So it's that same mentality or that same concept. It's just now happening through technology is how you're going to be sent the work. They'll not receive live instruction. There won't be videos of instruction coming home. It's really just the work portion. If your family or child decides to not get a COVID test, or your child is positive COVID, or if your child was identified as a close contact and needs to be out of school, that's when we're going to be assigning the virtual school. So just because you're out of school, maybe for 2 or 3 days, doesn't mean you're going to be assigned to virtual school. In the past, when your child was missing, you just kind of get caught up when you got back. We're using that same mentality. So the virtual school is really for COVID specific reasons this year. I want to explain that process. So if you would call us and say, my child has been identified as a close contact, they need to be home now for 14 days. Let's say you tell us that on a Monday. We need 1 day to get everything ready to go, from getting you the Zoom links and getting any materials to that you might need to have. So if you would tell us on a Monday, your child would get homework sent home Monday, homework on Tuesday, and then Wednesday they would go live. In the middle school, it's a little bit, I wouldn't say easier, but just a little bit more quick of a shift. So those middle school kids, they may be on virtual quicker, but know that what we've shared with teachers is you have sort of that 1 day to get prepared. So again, if you tell us on a Monday, Tuesday is that day to get prepped, and then Wednesday, 8 o'clock, your child will be Zoomed into the classroom until that quarantining period ends. As I shared with you last week, this has been a really unique balancing act for our teachers. Unlike the public school, we don't have a virtual teacher assigned for each grade level. It's our classroom teachers that are managing the virtual students from home, as well as managing the students that are in front of them at that same moment in the classroom. They're physically present in the classroom. Mr. Gale has been assisting with our younger learners as it is becoming more challenging to keep those younger students engaged and on task, really due to their age. So just be mindful that our younger students, they have less stamina for live instruction via a conferencing app. The teacher will be in communication for you if you find yourself in that situation where you need to have your child home for 14 days. The teacher will be in communication with you with that Zoom link. They'll be in communication with you at what times during the day your child needs to be on Zoom. It's not going to be 8 to 3. There will be times when they're on and times when they're off. The younger students, we have more of a modified schedule. We're trying to kind of lump all that instruction into one chunk of time, because again, for them to sit for an hour is really, really, really challenging. This has been new territory for all of us. I feel like we're learning something new almost every day about the virtual learning and how to manage both at the same time. We've been making many modifications as we learn new things. And I just want to end this portion by just saying that we really appreciate your patience and your understanding. Everybody that's been on virtual from a parent standpoint has been nothing but supportive and understanding. So thank you for that. It really helps us to do what we're going to do the best possible way that we can do it. Because at the end of the day, we want the virtual instruction to be the highest quality for those students who can't be in the building.